All right, thank you guys so much for joining me today on my crochet YouTube channel, LaFonda's Crochet. So today we are going to be making this beanie with the spike stitch. I make a lot of these different beanies for cancer patients, and this is just one that I made that was a really big hit. I just want to share the pattern with you guys today. So I used blue aqua yarn and then white yarn. I'm also going to be using a 5.5mm hook along with a 5mm hook and then a pair of scissors. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so getting started, I'm going to get my 5.5mm hook and I'm going to go ahead and get the aqua blue yarn. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a magic circle. So just taking the yarn across 2 fingers, and then you're going to make an X. And then you're going to take your hook and you're going to go under the first loop, and then we are going to pull the other loop up, and then we're going to chain 1. And then once you get it situated, we are going to do a chain 2. All right, so we are going to do 12 double crochets into the magic circle. All right, so once you're done doing your 12 double crochets, then I will meet you back. All right, once you have done your 12 double crochets, we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we did. It was the chain 1 and then the chain 2. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull that center closed a little bit. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. All right, now we're going to go to the first stitch, which is here, and we're going to put 2 double crochets into the first stitch. That is 1, and that is 2. We're going to go to the next stitch. We're going to put 2 double crochets into that one, and you're going to repeat this all the way around with putting 2 double crochets into each stitch. And then I will meet you guys back on that last double crochet that we put in. All right, so I made it all around. I'm on that last double crochet. We got 2 in that last stitch, and again we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. So this first stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet in it. In this next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. All right, the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. Okay, next stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So we're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we've gotten to our last stitch. And you should end with 2 double crochets into that last stitch, and I will meet you guys back. All right, so I have made it back around, and again that last stitch calls for 2 double crochets. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. All right, now we're going to chain 2. All right, we're going to go into this first stitch with 1 double crochet. All right, we're going to go into the next stitch with 1 double crochet. All right, and then the third stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. All right, fourth stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Fifth stitch, 1 double crochet. And then that sixth stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So we're going to repeat this pattern of 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. So go ahead and repeat this going all the way around Again, you're going to end with 2 double crochets, and then I will meet you guys back. Alright, so I have made it back around. Again, the last stitch should have 2 double crochets in it. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. Alright, and then we're going to chain 2. Alright, so this first stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. Second stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. Third stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. Okay, and then fourth stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. All right, fifth stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Sixth stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Seventh stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. And eighth stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So we're going to repeat this pattern of, you're going to do 1 double crochet into 3 stitches, and then that fourth stitch you're going to do 2 double crochets. So we're going to repeat this around until we get to the end. Again, that last stitch, it should have 2 double crochets in it, and I will meet you guys back around. Alright, so I have made it back around. I have my 2 double crochets into this last stitch. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. Alright, and then we're going to chain 2. Now, if you were doing a like a child's hat, you would stop here. Since I am doing adult size hats for patients that are in treatment, you know, taking chemo, radiation, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this next row. So if it's a child's hat, you can just pause it, wait until after this row, and then pick back up with me. All right, so first stitch, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a double crochet into there. All right, next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Third stitch, double crochet. Fourth stitch, double crochet. All right, and then the fifth stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. All right, sixth stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Seventh stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. Eighth stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. And ninth stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. And then 10th stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. All right, so we're going to repeat this with doing a double crochet into 4 stitches, and then the 5th one, you're going to do 2 double crochets. So go ahead and repeat this, and I will meet you guys back around. All right, so I have made it back around for this row. Again, the last stitch has the 2 double crochets in it. We're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. So that last row that we just did is going to be our last increase row. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and make a double crochet into that first stitch. All right, we're going to make 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and we are going to repeat this all the way around. We're just going to be placing 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and then I will meet you guys once I have reached the end. All right, so I have made it all the way around. We're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. And then we're going to chain 2. All right, and then we're going to do 2 more rows of just double crochets into every stitch. We're not going to do any increases or any decreases. Just we're going to do this row. You're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2, and then you're going to do one more row. So 2 more rows of just double crochets, no increases, no decreases, and then I will meet you guys back. Alright, so I have made it back around. I have completed those last 2 double crochet rows. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. Alright, we're going to pull up just a little bit. We're going to switch out our 5.5mm hook. We're going to go ahead and get our 5mm hook. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to chain 2. Alright, in this first stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. Now, on this part, you can chain 2 or you can use a stitch marker. So the reason why I chain 2 is just so I know where for the height, and then so I know where I did the single crochet, because if you do the chain 1 single crochet, you can tell from your other slip stitches that you made, but I prefer to do the chain 2 just so I can see that height there. All right, next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So do a single crochet into each stitch around, and then I will meet you guys back at the last stitch, which should be a single crochet. All right, so I have made it back around. So here is where I did the chain 2. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 or chain 1, whichever one you decided to do. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. So we got our first row of single crochets. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 6 more rows of single crochets. So that first stitch, you're going to do a single crochet, and we are going to repeat this around, and we're going to do it for 6 more rows. So you should have a total of 7 rows of single crochets. So go ahead and get those completed, and then once we're done, I will meet you guys back on that last stitch, which should be a single crochet. All right, so I have made it back around, and I have did my 7 rows of the single crochet. So what I'm going to do is we're going to work this last single crochet together, because we are going to be changing colors. So we're going to insert our hook into that last stitch. We're going to pull that loop up. Instead of finishing this off, I'm going to go ahead and add my white yarn. All right, and I'm just going to pull that through, and then we'll tighten this here. I'm going to hold that just to secure it. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. All right, and I'm going to chain 1 and make sure everything is pulled back here in the back. All right, so I'm going to be working over this little tail here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that first single crochet stitch, and I'm going to make a single crochet. All right, and I'm going to go to the second stitch, but instead of making a single crochet into that second stitch, I'm going to make an elongated single crochet here right below into the second row. All right, and I do want to make sure I pull it up to the height of what it needs to be. And then we're going to finish that off. I'm going to go to the 3rd stitch, and I'm going to go down 3, just 1, 2, 3. So I'm going down 3 rows, and again I'm pulling it up to the height that it needs to be, and I'm going to finish that single crochet off. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. So far we have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to the 4th stitch, and again I'm going to go down 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to pull it up to the height that it needs to be. All right, and then I'm going to go down here to the 5th stitch, and then we're going to go down 5. And again, I'm pulling up to the height that it needs to be. All right, and now I'm going to go down, next stitch, I'm going to go down to the 6th row. And I'm going to finish that off. All right, and then last but not least, I'm going to go down to the 7th row here. And again, pulling it up to that height. All right, so just so you can kind of see, this is what I call the spike stitch. So we have 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so we're going to repeat this all the way around. So just kind of showing you here, we're going to go to the next stitch, and you're going to start back at the single crochet in that 1st stitch. We're going to go to the next stitch and go down a row. All right, and then the next stitch, you're going to go down a row. And you're going to repeat this. So I will meet you guys back once you have gotten to the last stitch. Okay. All right, so I have made it back around, and my last one was a single crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch here into the 2nd chain. So I'm sorry, the 1st chain. This is where we joined, and then this is the chain 1, if I can get it in here. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. All right, and we're going to yarn over it, and we're going to go into the 1st stitch here with a double crochet. All right, we're going to go into the next one with a double crochet. And I had to join some yarn here, but I'm going to work over that. All right, and then we're going to go into the next one with a double crochet. All right, and we are going to repeat this all the way around with making double crochets into each stitch, and then I will meet you guys back. All right, so I have made it back around. I did my last double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. All right, and I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do a double crochet into this 1st stitch. Right, double crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around, doing a double crochet into each stitch. So you guys go ahead and get that done, and then I will meet you back at the last stitch so we can do the last stitch together. All right, so I have made it back around with that 2nd row of white double crochet. All right, so I left this last one here, last stitch, so we can go ahead and do this together. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start a double crochet. Now we're going to go ahead and change colors again. I'm changing back to the aqua. And I'm going to finish off the double crochet with the aqua yarn. I'm just going to make sure that everything is pulled in back here. All right, now go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. And then I'm going to chain 2. Again, making sure everything's pulled in the back. I'm going to work over both of these and a little bit of the white as well. All right, so this first stitch, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a double crochet. All right, second stitch, we're going to make a double crochet. And we are going to repeat this pattern all the way around until we get to the last stitch. So go ahead and do double crochets in each stitch around. All right, so I have made it back around with that double crochet row for my aqua. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the second chain. All right, and I'm going to chain 1. All right, go ahead and cut my yarn, pull through. All right, and I'm going to cut the white yarn as well. And go ahead and weave in my end here. All right, then that is the completion for the spike stitch hat is what I call it. Again, this is one to add to my collection. I do make chemo hats for cancer patients, and so this is my newest design here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe to my channel so I can continue putting out free videos and tutorials for you guys. I'm trying to do at least once a week, but we'll see how that goes. So I hope you guys are able to have a blessed day, and again, thank you guys for stopping by.